Alright, so I played a game recently called Small Saga. What a game. Short, cute, doesn't have anything annoying about it, tells a cool story with some depth to the world, and just overall it's so well done. It's like everything I want from a JRPG but better. I cannot recommend this enough. What is it about? I can't actually come up with a good way to put it, so the premise is extremely simple. It's about a world of rodents, their lives, and in this particular circumstance their quest to kill a god. But it's also a full world with different cities under the floorboards, where politics and interactions with the world of gods. What did I enjoy? Everything, really. I would honestly only complain about the failure states, meaning the game doesn't actually autosave, and if a player didn't save for a while and dies in a fight, it can lose a lot of progress. But aside from that, I love the world, how everything is small and they use ordinary objects as some sort of godly artifacts. For example, a garden gnome is viewed as some sort of deity of protection, watching over the colony, and the lighter is seen as an unbelievable weapon of unimaginable power. One of the main characters actually just uses a lighter as a weapon, and it's viewed as, like I said, unimaginable power. The list goes on, but it's not just that, they actually weave that weirdness into the world. So for example, the biggest city is one right under the human city, and to get there is to get through a bunch of pipes and skip over the river. Apparently bridges over said river also has a long storied history with countless battles fought over it. There's actually a full vibrant story written and delivered through snippets and books. Sometimes there could be comments about the olden times and traditions, and others it could be a reference to something with an actually large plot point later on. It is all nicely intertwined and just makes me want to know more, like a side story or another game in this universe or a whole other location with possible references to this one because of the pigeons spreading rumors, for example. I'd also strongly praise the combat, meaning not how well it's actually done, it's really fairly bare bones. No, instead I'm praising how rare it is. The game is a lot more about exploration, a rare puzzle and a lot of dialogue. That means that the combat is actually a very minor part of the game, compared to a lot of RPGs out there with bare bones story and a total focus on combat. Great example is Final Fantasy. Not that the story is awful, but the combat is constant. And when I played Final Fantasy IV, just the one I'm most familiar with, when I played that one, it felt like the story was held hostage by the tedious, constant combat. It was impossible to do anything because I'm supposed to grind for hours. It was impossible to explore because every goddamn step there's an enemy out of nowhere. I just sat there, shouting obscenities every few minutes because I couldn't remember where the hell I was even going. Here, it's actually meaningful. Whenever there's combat, it often means that there is a major plot point right after that, as well as a level up, and because it was so rare I enjoyed it so much more. It was a treat to show off all what I have built up due to the exploration I have done, instead of, let me kill 20,000 more slimes and I hope I get a level up so the boss fight is a little bit easier. By the way, the difficulty is actually fairly low, so I frequently breezed through. Only time I struggled was during the White God fight. One of my guys was one shot and I just never recovered. So I came back after some more exploration and I got through really easily, and it felt good. Also I'd praise the characters, but they are fairly simple. Actually, yeah, everything about this game is fairly simple. The graphics, which are also nice, the writing, the world, the characters, the combat, all of it is just simple. But it comes together well and ends up pretty damn brilliant. I believe that making things complicated has its time and place, but it doesn't necessarily make things better by default. In fact, there is a game I'm going through right now, and it's a bloody torture of how annoyingly complicated it is. So I'm probably gonna go do these two in a row. But I still like to mention a few words about the characters. Gwen is great, and the fact that she got arrested for flirting with a royal guard is bloody brilliant. And when they find the porn stash and she tries to look at it again only to get reprimanded by the teammate, yeah, she's the best character, no contest. Also Bulk and Skull, whatever their in-game name was. But they are Bulk and Skull from Power Rangers. Pretty much two bullies who suck at it and instead somehow turn around and reform themselves, helping the good guys. It was amusing seeing them have their own journey parallel to the player. Oh, and lastly, Anton. While not particularly interesting, I found the fact that he uses Russian from time to time amusing. At first I was a little confused as to why Lapa sounds so familiar, but then it connected. I suppose I appreciate the representation a little bit. Not enough games have white Russian hamsters. Oh yeah, and another thing to praise, I almost forgot, is the music. Music is surprisingly good. I feel like it had no reason to be this good. I believe the game could have worked with some placeholder music from some royalty-free websites, but instead it goes and tries pretty damn hard, incorporating a certain flair for every moment, with my particular favorite being bagpipes. The fight in the service tunnel had that great song with them. There were also a few others, but that one is my favorite. This kind of approach to music is actually a little bit similar to Divinity Original Sin 2, where each character has their own instrument and, depending on what is happening in the fight, that instrument plays. It's not exactly that, but there's a definitive flair to the music and who is on screen. I can't think of much else to say, it's just a very good JRPG, with a nice story, side quests, secrets, optional bosses and a bunch of rodents. Fun times.